Hola clase. This video is to talk about the present subjunctive, el presente de subjuntivo, and this is a new tense for us. The present subjunctive is formed in the same way as most commands. We use the present subjunctive when I'm having expressions of uncertainty or expressions that are somewhat impersonal. For example, I might say something in English like, it's imperative that you speak clearly. O en español, es imprescindible que hables claramente. So this verb in the sentence is in the present subjunctive. Or an impersonal expression such as, it's strange that a musician criticize his own music. Es raro que un músico critique su música. And this verb is in the present subjunctive. Or I might say something like, it's necessary that he protect the citizens. Es necesario que él proteja a los ciudadanos. So this verb is in the present subjunctive. And you can see with all of these verbs, hablar, opposite vowel, criticar, opposite vowel, also a Kargar-Zar spelling change. Proteger, opposite vowel, also G went to a J to preserve the H noise. So even though the present subjunctive is a new tense for us, because it's formed in the same way as most command forms, I think this tense will be very manageable for you to learn. Here are the steps of how to form the subjunctive tense. Step 1, you're going to put your verb in the yo form of the present indicative. The present indicative is just the regular present tense that you learned in Spanish 1. So step 1, go to yo. Step 2, you're going to drop the o. So that o on the end, you're just going to subtract it. Step 2b, check to see if your verb is a kar, gar, or zar ending. If so, we'll need to make some spelling changes. In kar verbs, the C changes to QU. In gar verbs, the G changes to GU. In zar verbs, the Z changes to C. And then step 3, add the opposite vowel ending. So if your verb ends in an AR, your vowel endings will be as follows. Es, hemos, es, en. So they look like ER endings, but those are the endings for AR verbs. If your verb ends in an ER or an IR, your endings will be as follows. A, as, a, amos, ais, an. So even though those look like AR endings in the subjunctive, present subjunctive, those are the endings for ER and IR verbs. So for example, if I want to conjugate the verb hablar in the to form, the present subjunctive would be hables. And if I wanted to conjugate correr in the L form, the present subjunctive would be corra. Also watch out for Kargar-Zar. For example, if I wanted to conjugate the verb empezar in the yo form, the present subjunctive would be empiece, because when I go to yo, E goes to IE, and then Z changes to C. There are 6 irregular verbs in the subjunctive. You can memorize the irregular verbs using the acronym DISHES. Or you can memorize the irregulars in 3 rhyming couplets. Haya, vaya, sea, sepa, te, este. So I just wrote these in the yo form, but of course you would add the appropriate ending. So for the verb vaya, it would be vaya, vayas, vaya, vayamos, vayas, vayan. Or for the verb sea, it would be sea, 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 seamos, seáis, sean. Now for your check for understanding, I'd like you to conjugate the following verbs in the present subjunctive. Hablar en la forma yo, correr en la forma tú, pagar en la forma él, comenzar en la forma nosotros, ir en la forma ellos. You should have hable, corras, pague, make sure you went G to GU. Comencemos, make sure you went Z to C. Y vayan. Hasta luego.